Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to a new episode of Power Rangers Review. As you could tell, I finally hit that mark where I will stop doing Power Rangers Review until I get caught up to RPM in the Legacy set. Right now, I am season 4, so I still have a long ways to go until the RPM to Megaforce reviews. So until then, as I go through it, there's two movies of Power Rangers that I can review. But as like I'm doing with RPM and through Megaforce, I'm just doing it as I go. So I've got to the point where I watched the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, so I have my notes and my little note of what I have of notes of the movie. And as I get to the season of Turbo and where the movies do that, I'll watch it. Maybe later, then I'll get notes, do a review, and that's it. And that'll be it until I get to RPM. So, yeah, let's get this thing started. Like I said, this episode is about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Now, unlike the Turbo movie that I'm going to be reviewing later down the road, this movie has no continuity towards the series whatsoever. Meaning, it has no connection towards the series. Pretty much, this is just its own thing. Yes, it has elements from the TV show and stuff, but it's its own thing. It's not connected to the TV series in any way. Which I don't know if I'll get into great detail about that. I don't know. In this movie, we have of course, the characters, Tommy, Rocky, Adam, Billy, Aisha, and Kimberly. With Tommy, he's Tommy the White Ranger, Rocky Red, Adam Black, Aisha Yellow, Billy Blue, and Kimberly Pink, of course, like from the TV series. But the one difference, I'll just get into those details later. For this, in the allies of the movie, we have Zordon, of course, Alpha 5. Then later on in the movie, you meet the warrior Dulcia, who helps them get their ninjetti powers, which I'll talk about later. And then, of course, this kid that they know called Fred. His name is Fred. He helps them out later on. He becomes kind of like a hero thing, and he's pretty cool. He's friends with the Rangers. Now, the villains of this movie. We have Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa, only for like a few minutes. They're actually not the main villain of this main villains for this movie. But you see them throughout some parts of the movie. Then of course you have Goldar. Now, here's one thing that they did not do in the TV series. They created an entire new henchman for Lord Zed and Rita, named Mordant. He is like a short, stubby, pig-looking monster with a bife. I really don't know. One of those things like those rich people's things where I have no idea what those are called. But yeah, he was never in the series. He's only for the movie. Just like the main villain of this movie. Probably one of my favorite villains of Power Rangers of all time. And of course, you probably know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. Of course, it's Ivan Ooze. And he's, again, one of my favorite villains of Power Rangers in all of, like, no continuity-wise or anything. He's just one of my favorite villains. Now, throughout the movie, we get different creatures also. You get the Tengu warriors, which are bird-like warriors. They're the henchmen. Well, they're like the they're Ooze's versions of Zed's Z-Putties. That's what they are. Kind of like the Oozeman that he uses in the beginning when he first confronts the Rangers. Then you have the gatekeepers when the Rangers when they're on their ninjetti quest and they have to go for the great power. They have to defeat either 4 or 5 gargoyle-like creatures known as the gatekeepers, and they'll defeat them, of course. And then you have the two main ectomorphicon machines that Ivan was digging up in like the middle of the movie so he can destroy Angel Grove. You have one of them. You have Hornitor. Yeah. No wait. Either Hornitor or Hornitar. Hornitar and Scorpitron. I don't know which one he fuses with, and then of course he does. Now let's get into some of the details. The Ranger suits are way different from what we see in the series. In the series we have the spandex, but in the movie it's pretty much like battle armor. It is basically armor. It just looks completely different. I like the armor look of the Rangers. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked the way that their helmets looked in these. Overall, like the design of the new suits was pretty cool. And it would have been kind of cool if they would have, because like in season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where the Rangers got their metallic armor. Now it's like after watching the movie and at that point, I was watching through that season and stuff. I was like, it would have been really cool if they would have taken those suits and used them as like their armor like an upgrade, instead of using metallic, but taking their colors and making them metallic. After just like realizing, I was like, maybe it would have been really cool if they would have taken these armors and put them in the show as like an armor upgrade, like what they did with metallic armor. It's like they only use them for like a certain amount of time, only emergency, only thing. Even then, it would be really cool if they took those suits from the movie and used them at least a little bit in the show. We have the creatures, the Tengu Warriors. They also appear in the TV series, but they're not the Tengu Warriors, and they're not created by Ivan Ooze. They are hatched by eggs that are brought to the moon by Rito, and they're known as Tenga Warriors. I don't know why they decided to change one letter from Tengu to Tenga, but they were pretty cool. I still like them. They were pretty cool. I think they had a lot more hard time defeating the Tengas than the Z-Putties. I mean, for the Z-Putties, all you had to do is hit the Z, boom, gone. But the Tengas, even though they always won each fight, they still had some trouble against them. Then, of course, another difference from the TV show and the movie is when they get the Ninjetti powers. In the movie, they're called the... I don't know if they're in the show. They're called Ninjetti powers. No, I think the only name for them in the TV show, they're just ninja powers. Well, in the movie, it's called Ninjetti powers, which were given to them by Dulcia, while in the TV show, it was given to them by Ninja. But the one thing I wish they would have kept for like the ninja powers in the show, like I said in my legacy update video, that for the ninja powers in the show, their whole face is covered and all you can see is the eyes. And I wish that they would have kept the way they looked, like in the... Because, well, that's the only difference in the costumes of the Ninjetti and the ninja powers from the movie and the TV series. It's pretty much the exact same costume, except that in the movie, you get the mask, you have the headband, and then you have like the hood. And the show, their whole face is covered, and all you can see are their eyes. Now, I probably understand that they do that so that they can put in the stunt actors, so for certain actors, because I don't know if, because I could see Rocky, Adam, and Tommy doing their own, the actors playing the characters doing their own stunts. Maybe Billy also, but maybe for like some of the intricate fighting styles. They had, of course, for the face, if they covered it up, people wouldn't know that there were stunt actors, because it would be kind of hard to cover it up with just the mask and the hood. But I would have still liked it if they would have kept the Jetty version in the show. I thought that would have been really cool. Now, like I said earlier, Ivan Ooze is only in the movie, and I don't care. And I think it's best he stays in the movie, because Ivan Ooze is one of their, to me, I think, one of the most dangerous villains that the Power Rangers face throughout their time as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers before they become Zeo. It's like Ivan Ooze was more evil. Well, I just feel like that he was much of a battle for the Rangers than what Lord Zed and Rita and Master Vile gave the Rangers. I mean, Ivan Ooze is just, to me, he gave them more of a challenge than what the others did. Now, it's just that the reason why I like Ivan Ooze is just, yes, he's evil and stuff. It's not because of that. It's just that he's just hilarious. Just like Greedo from the TV show, he's hilarious, but he's also evil. But it's the same concept. Ivan Ooze is hilarious, and at the same time, he's evil. And just his comedic effect for his evil deeds is just hilarious. Because my most favorite scene for Ivan Ooze in the movie, he probably recited this quote a lot, but it's like my favorite quote. My favorite scene from the movie is when Ivan Ooze goes and confronts Alpha and Zordon after sicking his Oozman against the Rangers. He's like, it's just one of my favorite scenes. He comes in and he's like, well, he wants revenge against Zordon for sealing him up in an egg for 6,000 years, and that he was bored for all that time. So he's like, now it's time to pay the piper. And he's like, and he starts playing it, and he's like, as he points his flute, he starts to say things, and after he says each one, it just shoots out, and he starts destroying it as he says it. He's like, and what he says is just hilarious to me, especially the last part. It's now it's time to pay the piper. It's like, you know what I missed during that time or something? I don't know the whole thing. It's like, and he's like, the Black Plague, the Spanish Inquisition, and the most freaking best line ever is like, the Brady Bunch reunion. It's like, every time I hear that, it's like, I just find it hilarious. I mean, how can someone hear about the Brady Bunch in an egg underground for 6,000 years? This is that scene to me is just hilarious, and my all-time favorites. And like, even though he's only in the movie, I still have to consider Ivan Ooze one of my favorite villains of all time. And of course, okay, after that we have enough of Ivan Ooze. We go on to Mordin. He is an original henchman for this movie. He doesn't appear in this series, and to me, I think he was just kind of thrown in there. Cause I don't know. I wish they kind of gave. I wish they would have kind of given an explanation of why he was there. I think they just implied it that he was always there because Babu and Squat was not there. Maybe I probably could have seen it if they maybe introduced him halfway, like if they actually wanted to do it continuity wise, they could have introduced him like somewhere through the season of Power Rangers, and then show him like or something. But other than that, I think he was just thrown in there because he was just kind of stupid in some situations. So I mean, you don't even see him at the end of the movie. It's like after after Ivan Ooze revives his ectomorphicons. That's the last time you see him Morphin. Because, well, except until the end of the movie. But from that time, from when he helps Ooze activates the ectomorphicons, till the end to when Ivan Ooze is defeated, and after the credits, Ivan Ooze, he's gone. And he doesn't reappear until after the end credits, where it shows him in Lord Zed's chair. Well, him serving Goldar and stuff. But just to me, I think he was just kind of thrown. Now, the Tengu, again, I thought was pretty cool. Yeah. And I was kind of glad that they brought him into the series and stuff. Other than that, that's pretty much my thought about the movie. Overall, the movie was good. It's like the whole thing about it was pretty cool. And I actually liked it that we actually got to kind of see, even though this is not part of the series, that we actually got to see like an actual full body thing of Zordon instead of just his floating head. We actually get to see what he might have looked like in like a body or something besides his floating head. So overall, the movie was pretty good. Of course, it's like I watched this movie so many times that back when we had the VHSs, I actually wore out two. I think I had 3 copies of the movie. I wore out 2 of them. And I think I was about to wear out the 3rd one. So I'm kind of glad that I have the DVD. So, yeah. So until I get to the Power Turbo movie this week again, until I get then, when I get to the Turbo movie, that'll be last until I can actually get to RPM. So until then, I will see you next time on Power Rangers Review, and like, subscribe, share this, put down in the comments what you thought about. What did you like about the movie? What did you just put in your, what was your thoughts about the movie in the comments down below. Like this, subscribe to my channel, like my Facebook page. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. See you.